I'll tell you that I'm in love with reflections of my potential. When I get to be alone, burning candlelight, I like to think I'm in love, but my looks are so circumstantial.
Okay, so we're sitting here with Jake and Des from Early Eyes. How are y'all doing?
Well, how are you?
Good. How is the dog?
She's chilling. Hazelnut, how are you? All right, I'll take that as a good. Oh.
Awesome. So I guess the first thing I want to ask is, can you talk about signing to Epitaph and how the experience has been, and like what are your goals with like being on a label?
Oh, we are so grateful. Oh my God, this is so cute. Okay, sorry. We're like super grateful to Epitaph for picking up a band that was like as small as we were at the time when they asked to sign us. And it was kind of just like one of those crazy moments of worlds colliding where we were like, oh crap, is this really happening? You know? Yeah,
Totally,
it was
yeah.
definitely a dream come true. And we're super, super stoked about everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Was that always the plan? Did you always want to sign with someone, or did you think maybe you'd want to be like independent for a while?
We didn't know really.
It kind of came out of the blue, and since day one, they've just sort of like believed in us, and it's cool. It wasn't really like next on our list. I think.
Yeah.
Was it like labeled before booking agency even?
I think we wanted booking agents before a
Okay.
label. I'm pretty sure.
I think that's what we were going
like,
for, but
yeah,
not necessarily what we ended up with.
Yeah, we were kind of just like waiting for whatever the next thing was going to be for us in terms of like big moves to be making, and that they ended up giving our manager a ring, and it all happened, as they say in that movie. It's all happening.
Yeah.
What is that?
Almost famous.
Almost famous. It's all happening.
Yeah.
Cool. So I mean, y'all have already released stuff with them, and I know that artists often talk about being on labels. You have to wait longer for your stuff to get out. Has that been an issue, or I mean, like, because if that was the case, then I guess this must have been, in the works for a while.
Yeah, like yes and no. I feel like we waited a long time to put our first songs out because we wanted to make sure that we had all those ducks in a row that needed to be in the row. And then like now we've kind of reached a point where we've been putting out singles, and we like there are new rules that we haven't had to, I guess, experience before as an independent band, like having to wait six weeks between every release just to like make sure that the song it has like gone through the entire curve that it needs to go through before you put another one out, Yeah. So like we're learning a lot in terms of like marketing placement, I guess you could call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah. And it also really helps, like when we were first starting out, like we were going onto a website and like uploading our stuff onto a website to distribute it to various streaming services and stuff. And now it's kind of cool, like we can just like give them the song and they can handle all that, and it's really nice because like we can really focus on like connecting with our fans when the release hits, not like, oh, I gotta go to the website, like it's not uploading to Spotify.
Yeah,
it's great.
Speaking of kind of like having to kind of waiting to put stuff out, you've talked about how long y'all sat on Marigolds before putting it out, and I was just wondering, because like I feel like that was something that like fans knew that song, who'd seen you live, and like I feel like y'all had some confidence in that song. So what kind of helped you decide to wait to put it out so long? Like what was the holdup?
I think, well, we were kind of waiting to put all of our music out because we really wanted to like refine everything and make sure that we were getting to a point where every song was at least as good as we could make it, So we like sat and tried to make sure that we were getting everything right and doing all the songs justice and trying to make sure that like the ideas that came out on the speakers were as good as they were up here.
Yeah.
You know? So
And-
we did that for most of the songs that we're going to be coming out with.
Yeah, and like every time we played Marigolds live, it like would change a little bit, and like yeah, would just be like refining kind of the whole time. And even like since the last time we played it live, like to the studio recording, it changed a bunch too. So I don't know. Yeah, just sort of like waiting on something and like growing with it and whittling away at it, and it sort of becomes better and better. Never perfect, obviously,
Yeah.
but like things always keep changing. But yeah,
Cool.
I don't know.
So obviously this isn't like a bad thing. This is just the way y'all do it. But can you talk about the y'all's like preferred method of like releasing music? You kind of release like 5 or 6 songs like all at once, rather than maybe doing like a 10, 11, 12 song like full length album. Do you what's the thought process behind that, and also do you plan on continuing to do that now that you like signed with the label?
I kind of feel like the more sporadic releases are more due to like lack of like physical copies.
Yeah.
Like we've never really made like physical copies of anything since our very, very first EP. But when there's an album and like we are able to like make CDs and make vinyls and everything, I feel like it'll make more sense to have like more of a long form project. But yeah, like for Teal and Decorating, those 2 EPs, we kind of knew we weren't going to have like CDs. So we were just like,
Yeah.
put it on the internet. You know?
Mhm.
And singles is kind of the same concept. You know?
Yeah. They're overall, they're kind of just like the rules as to how people are supposed to release music are kind of disappearing,
Mhm.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have to like sign with the label, put out our debut label
Yeah.
album, like have to go for 11 songs. Like Epitaph also, because we're really lucky, Shigam.
Yeah.
Because we're really lucky, we're with, like they're super nice to us and they're really artist friendly. They like kind of have left it open to us as to how we want to release the music we're gonna come out with.
It's
So,
very informal. I
yeah.
love it. Like, I don't know. It's so personal and just sort of like, hey, how are you doing? Just checking in. Here's a song, you know.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
So do you try to keep your EPs like all on a similar all the songs on like a similar theme, or do you just try to write like bops and like kind of throw them together?
It's weird because I don't think we've never like gone for a theme from the beginning with any of the records, but they all kind of end up sounding like they fit within a same theme, just because we're writing all those songs kind of in this little time bubble of when we're making the EP and writing songs for the EP. So they just end up sounding kind of all the same and having a cohesive message and theme overall. Yeah.
Totally.
But we've never gone for it, you know? Yeah.
So y'all's also like your instrumentation is like really intricate and crazy and exciting. I think because like you have, you've talked about having a lot of you have jazz backgrounds and stuff like that. So when there's so much emphasis on instrumentation, where do lyrics fit in, and how do you approach lyrics?
Oh, lyrically, like I kind of just keep notes throughout the course of the day. Well, basically my whole life, I should say. I'm always keeping notes of like little things that I think of that sound like a good line, or like concepts that arise in regular conversation that I think can translate well into being a song. And we do, for the most part, write the lyrics and vocal melody, or as they say, the top line. We usually write them last, so we kind of do put an emphasis on our like jazz background and the instrumentation and the arrangement and harmony of the song first, and then the lyrics and melody kind of come at the end. And that doesn't mean that they're like the least important. I think it's more so that like that's the part that's going to require the most amount of like intense, intrusive, emotional thought, so I just put it off.
It's sort of like you're making a cake, and it's like like all this foundation, all this other stuff in here, and then the frosting's on top, and it's like, what are you really looking at when you look at cake?
Yeah.
Like, the frosting on top. What are you listening to? Them
all
vocals.
all that cake you had to make. Yeah.
Just the whole
Hell yeah. Great metaphor or
Yeah.
simile, whichever.
Yeah.
Analogy.
I don't know. I was gonna say, like, here's a metaphor simile analogy. I didn't know what one was. So
Simonalaphor.
So on the topic of like the instrumentation, like obviously y'all are all really talented musicians, but like, do you ever find yourself like kicking yourself on stage when you have like these like hard parts to play, or I mean, is it just like piece of cake and you can do it every time?
It's hard. It's super
It's
hard. Yeah,
it's
you would talk. I don't really do that much playing when we play live.
I mean, you do, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard because we pride ourselves on like a good stage presence and like a fun show. But sometimes I at least for me, I just have to. There are parts that I know I just can't. I can't be like, haha, fun dance. I'm like, okay, let's focus on this thing. And yeah. But I don't know. There's definitely days at practice, and like there have been shows where we kick ourselves after, like, oh man, that wasn't a great show. But again, at the end of the day, people are just like, great stage presence, very fun show. So yeah, but it's more of a personal, like, did I kill that show? Or did I mess up a bunch? I don't know.
Yeah, we also are like overall, because we have jazz backgrounds and like that jazz teacher like telling you to pick it up at measure 46 is like stuck in the back of all of our heads. We're so hard on ourselves if we mess up.
Sometimes
we can be, but it's always fun.
Usually nobody notices but us. So
the chords are crazy enough anyways. That was just an extra crazy chord.
It's just jazz.
Do you all improvise on stage, or do you try to keep it pretty much like what you wrote in the studio?
There's a little bit of improvisation at every show. Yeah.
There's parts. I feel like we all have like different options, like that we can try.
Yeah.
Or we can like on certain sections, like I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I think
like the bridge of I'm Enough when we play it live is kind of like we all solo now. Because that's like a moment where the song kind of loses its formality and it gets really free. So like we do have like a bunch of things that are rehearsed for us to play, but like if you're stricken by some muse who comes down from upon high and is like, you need to solo right here, you're more than allowed to do it.
Throw in some notes here.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that though, because that's like the one part in that song that I'm like, okay, this is my
really? Yeah.
Like I play all these specific notes, but like on the chorus, it's like I sort of like will throw in a handful of fills, like sift between a handful of fills, and just sort of like whatever energy level we're at.
Yeah, that's
in that specific part.
So yeah, we don't overall have a lot of like big elongated jazz solos that are like 10 minutes of us.
Yeah, not improvisation in like the traditional like this is a solo, but
but you're more than allowed to throw some sauce on.
We're ripping.
Yeah.
So you guys have been doing like a lot of live streams, like explaining your songs, and even offering to FaceTime to go over stuff, which I might take you up on. But can you talk about that? Because like most bands would never even consider doing that, and so I love that so much, and like how involved you all are with your fans. So if you want to talk about like how y'all been doing that recently.
Yeah, I think to talk about like FaceTiming about songs specifically, I think that we all, for the most part, still see ourselves as like students of music. Not necessarily like music students, because none of us are in college anymore or anything, but like
or wherever music students. No.
Yeah, really. I was a music student in high school. It's besides the point. Anywho, we all still like are true, passionate people who like love to learn about music and talk about music and understand that like the shit that we're doing, or the crap. So I don't know if I'm
No,
supposed
you're
to
good.
swear.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck. But yeah, the shit we're doing now is like we're like I've been just like sitting at the piano and pulling up old Stevie Wonder chord charts and just like practicing chord shapes and whatnot. So like if we were to be able to reach out to someone who appreciates our music and provide them with like a little bit of a Stevie Wonder chord chart via FaceTime,
Yeah.
like that's the coolest thing in the world, and it helps us
Yeah.
all get better at music.
If Stevie Wonder like just popped up on Instagram Live and was like, "This is how I did that one specific thing in this song,"
Yeah.
like that would be the coolest thing ever. And
Yeah.
To this day, people still talk about like how many clavinet tracks are on Superstition.
Yeah.
Is it 2? Is it 1? Is it 6? Like
Yeah.
there's still that whole debate. And like if you just had FaceTime
Yeah.
and told someone,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
what was it? How have we been connecting with our fans?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like the last night, was that last night?
Mhm.
We went live and like broke down one of our songs and another song by another artist. But it was really fun to like sort of talk about like what chords went where and why, you know. And
Yeah.
I think like people, whether they are like into it on that deep of a level, I think even if they don't know like all the jargon, it's kind of fun to hear it. I don't know, like I would love, I really don't understand that much of this stuff, and like it's more Jake, John, and Joe, something in there. I don't know. But I don't know. Yeah, if I heard like some of my favorite artists like talking about chords, I would still want to listen. Even
Yeah,
more.
like if I got the chance to hear like Frank Ocean just like discuss how he made Self Control,
Yes,
that would blow me
totally.
away. Like, you know,
I
that'd be
would-
the
I
best
would
video
flip
on
out.
YouTube.
It's like 2 instruments, but I'd still be like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have, you know, everyone's got all this time now, so you know, why not? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
share the love. So you guys you're definitely like making a name for yourself at this point. You have been, you know, but like what I don't, not that you need this from anyone, but how did it feel to, like, I saw Jake from, is it Jake, I think from Hippocampus, like shouted y'all out. So how does it feel to get like cosigns like that from like great artists, and like I think they're also from the same area as y'all? Yeah.
Yeah. We that it feels super, super nice to kind of like be welcomed into that like blue check mark on Instagram community. You know? Like it does, like there is like a little bit of legitimacy to people who are like in your scene also shouting you out. So
Yeah,
it definitely feels
totally.
like really nice on the level of like we're working really hard, but it also feels really nice because those people like our music.
Yeah,
you know?
like validation is great. You
Yeah.
don't have to rely upon it. Definitely don't rely upon it. But like, I was really happy to see that. Like
Mhm.
it's like, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Shoot,
I like
you
your
liked
music
it.
too.
Yeah, I like your
Yeah,
music too.
I think my highlight specifically was the All American Rejects tweeting at us when we released I'm Enough.
Really?
'Cause,
That's so cool.
yeah, that was the first song I ever bought on iTunes was Dirty Little Secret.
Wow,
And so I was like, that was a
That's-
true moment.
that's a
for me.
huge full circle moment.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Wow.
that was cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What did they say? Just like good song.
No, someone tweeted at us and said, because we announced we were signed to Epitaph, and they said, what's it like to be on the same label as the All American Rejects? And they responded.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't remember what they said.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so like through someone else,
Okay.
they responded to their
Okay.
tweet.
Cool.
So it wasn't like they tweeted out, it's like,
Wasn't-
hey, good job on I'm Enough, guys.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. It still felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys worked with Dizzy Faye on Case for You. And I was wondering if you plan on continuing to like collaborate with other artists like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Darn tootin'. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's something that we always have, like, another thing that we like in terms of like the rules being broken in music. I'll like similar to releasing music in albums versus singles, but also like you can put out songs with any of your friends and like feature as many of them as you want. And like so many of my favorite records are made by like a collective of awesome musicians like any D'Angelo album is like D'Angelo. Well, I guess anything after Brown Sugar is D'Angelo, Questlove, Isaiah Sharkey. You know, like a bunch of super cool dudes who I love musically apart from their work in D'Angelo. And like I think that star power of two artists you like coming together to make a song is like some of the coolest stuff that can be done.
Totally.
For sure. Well, we're looking forward to see some of that stuff.
We're stoked to see what comes next.
Hell yeah. So I wanted to ask, y'all toured the Happy Fits last year. I've interviewed them before, so we're buds.
Hell yeah.
But how well, first of all, I was bummed to miss all those shows because I'm in Austin. But great lineup. So is that the longest tour y'all have been on? And like maybe just talk about that experience.
Yeah, it was the longest tour we had been on. It still is. Yeah. Because we were supposed to go on a tour with Nothing Nowhere that started this month. It's April, right? April yet? Yeah, about a week. That was starting this month. But because of everything that was happening in the world, it had gotten canceled, which is more than okay. Everyone's got to go and stay safe. Like obviously we feel like a little, I don't know, a little sad. Yeah. Like it hurt. It hurt, but it had to happen in order to make sure that we're not out there murdering people. But yeah, that was the longest tour that we had been on, and it was kind of a slog. Like it. Yeah. We had only ever
in Florida.
5 dates in Florida.
Got hot.
Yeah, that's where
morale was low.
Morale was low.
Overall, though, like we had a really, really good time.
We did, yeah. No, it was an absolute blast. Like we love touring. It's jam.
Was that the time that we came back to? Was it Cleveland, Ohio?
Yes, Cleveland,
the poppin' one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know, that it was really cool to like make new fans, but also connect with fans that we already had in certain places, whether reconnect or like meet them for the first time, like not on the internet. But yeah, it was huge. It was like to me. Not necessarily grand scheme, but it was just like, again, validating.
It was validating. Yeah.
Like we do have people that listen to us all over the country.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That was sort of the first time that we really went on like a really long tour and like really got to see like places that we had never played.
Yeah, that was our first like
anywhere near.
That was our first like pretty like we'd gone on a couple self-booked tours and we'd gone on like a couple stints of opening slots, but that was our first like tour, like 3 weeks, East Coast run, the whole like So it was a blast.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So what are y'all's like respective like favorite songs to play live, and also like songs that you're most proud of having written?
Oh, all my favorite songs to play live are ones that are not released yet.
Yeah.
But favorite release song.
Favorite released song for me to play live, I think, is Comfortable, probably.
Yeah, that's always fun.
I'm Enough is really fun too, though.
I'm Enough is really fun. That might be my number one.
The studio recording is really fun and dancey, and then like how we play it live, it's almost more chill.
Yeah, it's like
then builds more.
What's that Fleetwood Mac's the Fleetwood Mac song that the one that's all dancey. Why am I blanking? Rhiannon? Dreams.
It's literally the song. I don't know why.
Yes, I don't know how we could do it. Anywho, the way you play it live to me sounds kind of like Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, where it's like subdued. Yeah. It's like subdued dancey. Yeah, it's really, really fun. Yeah, I would say that Marigolds would probably be my favorite song to play live, but it's really hard.
Yeah,
it looks hard. Yeah, the keys part. I was watching the live stream. It looks hard.
Yeah.
And like singing at the same time.
Yeah, that's my biggest struggle.
Me too. If I ever am trying to sing like backup vocals and play bass at the same time, for some reason, I can sort of play guitar and sing at the same time, but like this activity, for some reason, I cannot. But it takes me so much longer to learn how to sing and play while doing this.
I guess I'm going to tease something.
Okay.
Because another question was, what's the song we're proudest of, right?
Yeah.
We have a song called Sunbathing that will come out sometime soon. And
Awesome.
that song, when it hits, or when it gets put out, I could definitely say a lot more about it, but I'm super proud of it. The production is like really intricate. The song is super well written. It means a lot in like lyrically and whatnot. It's kind of at least in terms of recording, like a recorded piece, it's my fave.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think in terms of a recorded piece, mine is probably a new song also called Clarity.
Yeah.
And should I say that?
Yeah, we can say that. Can we?
Yeah, it's the next single we're gonna release.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do y'all do you plan on using getting art from the same artist that you did with I'm Enough and Marigolds for the album cover?
Yeah, we have like a yes is the answer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love the art for that. It's really cool.
Thank you. We love her name is Anna Fuda.
Her
Instagram name.
Yeah.
Anna Fuda.
Yeah, but her name is Anne.
Her name is Anne.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And she rules.
And she rules.
So what would you say is the hottest riff you've ever written?
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, in I got mine in Feathers. If you ever listen, Feathers by Early Eyes, released in 2018. There's a right at the end of the song. There's this big A minor chord, and then John on the guitar goes. Da, 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 da. I wrote that riff, and that's the hottest riff I've ever written.
That's so funny. Yeah. There's so many jokes I want to make right now. But hottest riff in an Early Eyes song. I mean, I didn't write it, but the probably that Marigolds one.
Yeah, I think like universally. Yeah, that is a from the ear of Joe Polano.
Yeah. Thanks,
Awesome.
Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Hi, Joe. So do y'all I know you used to record like in a dorm, like on GarageBand. Do you do all your stuff in the studio now, or do you record from home at all?
We demo most of our songs from home, and ideally someday we would love to like self-produce our like music that gets put out and like released and whatnot. We'd love to self-produce it at some point, whether we like do it from our house or rent out a studio or something like that. But we got to learn somewhere. So we're like super lucky to have gotten the opportunity to work on these two. We have like we kind of have some songs in the vault at the moment. And for all those songs, we worked with a producer from Nashville named Jacob Vanyo, and we worked with Eric Palmquist in LA. And both incredible, awesome dudes who are super talented and wonderful.
So you went out to Nashville and LA, or did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Big time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So y'all live together? I think you said that in the live stream.
Yeah, we all live together.
So a lot of, do you just kind of, I mean, obviously music is like a big thing in your life, but so maybe it's like kind of gets like tiresome, but like do you often like just walk out and like start jamming in the living room, or is it just like no, that's enough, like stop playing?
We have not, we haven't gotten to like the no music today. We've never gotten to that point, but we all kind of like collectively will get tired of at like the same time. Like it'll be like, we'll be like 9 songs into rehearsing and be like, you guys want to be done soon? So, but we don't have like strict like professional limits on like music from 6 to 8
Yeah.
on Tuesdays only.
No.
Other than that, I gotta play Animal Crossing, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of freeform. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And we're able to just kind of have music going in like every room
Yeah.
at any time, whenever. Like I think Joe's making a beat right now in his room,
Yeah.
and it sounds really cool.
John, Depp and I were making a beat
Yeah.
downstairs like 20 minutes before we
Yeah.
picked up the call.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very rough demo of a new song.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's awesome. Get to, hang out, have fun, and make music.
Yeah.
Especially right now, because none of us can leave the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good thing that y'all are
Yeah.
together at this time, because that that would be tragic to.
Yeah, there are like a lot of bands who don't live together. There are there are a lot of bands who live in like different states, and like I can't imagine like trying to be
Holy
productive and creative like living across the country right now.
Like
Yeah.
Dropboxing it to one another, like different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely possible to write songs over the internet, and it's
Totally.
like we've all done it or tried to, but like it does go by way faster if you're just in a room with someone,
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And it's, I don't know, you're just like connecting
Yeah.
more, and like
There's that energy.
there's like an idea that you can achieve that like some ideas you can't achieve like just by like bouncing back and forth over the internet. Like sometimes it's got to be like, you have an idea, and then I'm like, what if you change that? And you're like, oh, and that plus this, and then it's like, oh, it's this new idea that we never would have had if we weren't hanging out.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I kind of forgot the question, but
That's cool. So just a couple more questions.
Yeah.
What is there, when I say best show you've ever played, does anything come to mind?
immediate reaction. Maryland.
Maryland is cool.
What was it called? Next Now Fest. It was like on their campus.
Yeah, university campus.
University campus.
That was
and
good.
Like I don't even remember how many people showed up, but it was probably the biggest show we'd ever played.
Yeah, at the time.
At the time,
Yeah.
it was the biggest show we've ever played, like including hometown shows. And
Yeah.
it was in Maryland.
It was
It
cool.
was just
we definitely got very lucky
we got
because
lucky. Yeah.
it was like Cupcake. Do you know the rapper Cupcake?
Yeah, I don't know I haven't heard any of the music, but I've heard of the name.
I highly recommend giving it a listen sometime, because she's like super vulgar, and like I don't know, I like Cupcake a lot, and we were lucky enough that the day before we played, Cupcake played, and David Harbour, who is Chief Hoffer on Stranger Things.
No way.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah.
And the day before we were there, they were like playing, and he was giving some sort of like presentation, and then the day after, good old Early Eyes was there.
Yeah. Day two.
Day 2.
Cool.
So, yeah, we got really lucky and got a chance to like play in front of a lot of people, and it went really well.
It was us in like a sketch comedy club or something.
Yeah,
and it was hilarious. They were so funny.
Yeah, they're big.
Citizens Brigade.
Yeah, Upright Citizens Brigade.
Yeah.
UCB was there.
Awesome.
Mhm.
I think I saw them once when I was in LA. That's cool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
highly recommend. Good stuff.
Yeah. So final closing note. What's like with everything that's going on, we know like tours aren't really happening, but what can we look out for from y'all, and what are the best ways that people can show their support right now?
Yeah, I think we have like a lot of songs that are going to be coming out in the coming months to weeks to months to days to months to maybe years. I mean, we probably won't stop anytime soon, so probably years. We have a lot of songs that are probably going to come out, at least one during what will inevitably be probably like these quarantine days. So we have another song coming out. We have a lot of videos to work on, or not even to work on. We have videos to put out.
Yeah.
Some to work on. And I guess to show your support, the best thing anyone could be doing right now is washing your hands and staying home, so we can quarantine the virus as best as possible, and every band can go get back out on the road and whatnot. Yeah.
And as far as like supporting bands directly, like Bandcamp is a great way to like make sure most of the funds you're putting in get to the band. And like honestly just share, like telling a friend about new music.
Yeah, like share, if bands are like putting music out or dropping merch or anything like that, like just
Yeah.
telling your friends or sharing it, I feel like that's huge. Listening to stuff on Spotify, and like streaming songs and watching YouTube videos and whatnot is a great way to help your bands out, because like that'll put higher likelihoods of making playlists and
Yeah.
recommending algorithm. The algorithm gods will bless you.
There's like there's like liking songs on Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't know how that all works.
Yeah,
but,
all that jazz.
but
Interesting.
yeah, Bandcamp's great. Word of mouth is perfect, and donate to your local food banks. Yeah. all
Yeah,
that.
donate to your local food bank.
Yeah.
Did you see that that Friday that Bandcamp like gave all the like proceeds like straight to the artists? They sold like $4.5 million worth of merch and stuff. Did you see that?
That makes me feel so warm. Like,
Wow.
I know, it was awesome. Great to
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
This morning, much smaller scale, but this morning I woke up to an email. Some dude had bought Coffee, Penelope, and Case for You, each for $10.
Wow.
I paid $10 for 3 singles just to like give us help us out.
yeah, that was really, really
I don't know.
nice.
It's really amazing how people are coming together to like support musicians and artists, and just in general, like supporting people who need support right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
for sure.
I love to see it.
Sorry, I'm giggling at the dog. She's got her tongue.
Oh
She's got
my
her tongue.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Look at that.
Look at her little blab. Oh!
Dang.
awesome.
We had to show the dog on interview.
Yeah. So that's a good note to close on. Thank you guys so much. I love your
Thank
music.
you.
And if you're ever in Austin, which hopefully you will after this is all over.
Yeah, that's the city I want to visit most in the U.S. So
Heck yeah.
yeah,
So anytime you have an album coming out or anything, I'd love to chat again. And
Of course.
keep the conversation going. Love you guys. Love your music. So
yeah, back at you.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
oh, yeah.
Hear my voice and just get to know